Rural Mississippi, 1954. The story begins on a pig farm in Kosciuszko, Mississippi, where a young girl named Oprah Winfrey was born to an unmarried teenage mother. Her name was misspelled on the birth certificate, but that mistake would become the foundation of one of the most recognizable names in the world, Oprah. Vernita Lee, her mother, was just 18 years old and unprepared for motherhood. She left Oprah with her maternal grandmother, Hattie Mae Lee, on the farm. Hattie Mae was a strict woman who believed in discipline and education. She taught Oprah to read by age 3 and made her recite Bible verses in church. The farm had no indoor plumbing, no electricity, and Oprah wore dresses made from potato sacks. Other children mocked her, but her grandmother instilled in her a belief that she was destined for something greater. "You watch me," Hattie Mae would say, "this child is gifted." At age 6, Oprah's world changed dramatically when she was sent to live with her mother in Milwaukee. Vernita worked as a housemaid and struggled to make ends meet. The move marked the beginning of the darkest chapter of Oprah's life. Milwaukee, 1960 to 1968. Living in inner-city Milwaukee was a shock. Vernita worked long hours and had little time for Oprah. The young girl was often left alone or with relatives who didn't want the responsibility. At age 9, the unthinkable happened. Oprah was sexually abused by a 19-year-old cousin while her mother was at work. This was followed by abuse from other male relatives and a family friend. She was told to stay quiet, that it was their little secret. The trauma manifested in rebellious behavior. Oprah started acting out, lying, and stealing. She felt worthless and began to believe she deserved the abuse. At 13, she ran away from home multiple times. Her mother, overwhelmed and frustrated, made a decision that would change everything. Vernita decided to send Oprah to live with her father, Vernon Winfrey, in Nashville, Tennessee. She packed Oprah's belongings in a paper bag and put her on a Greyhound bus. As the bus pulled away from Milwaukee, Oprah didn't know she was heading toward salvation. Nashville, 1968 to 1971. Vernon Winfrey was everything Vernita wasn't: strict, disciplined, and committed to education. He owned a barbershop and was a respected member of his community. He took one look at the troubled 14-year-old and laid down the law. "You will go to school, you will study, and you will make something of yourself," he told her. Vernon's rules were non-negotiable: homework before anything else, a book report every week, and no television until all responsibilities were completed. But Vernon also gave Oprah something she'd never had: unconditional love and belief in her potential. He called her daughter and meant it. Under his guidance, Oprah's grades improved dramatically. She joined the speech team and discovered she had a natural talent for public speaking. However, at 14, Oprah faced another crisis. She discovered she was pregnant, the result of continued abuse. She was terrified to tell Vernon, but when she finally did, he stood by her. The baby was born prematurely and died shortly after birth. Oprah later said this tragedy, while devastating, gave her a second chance at life. Vernon made her promise to never let anyone's actions define her worth again. "You are responsible for your life," he told her. "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." High school to college, 1971 to 1976. At East Nashville High School, Oprah flourished. She was elected student council president, joined the drama club, and won a full scholarship to Tennessee State University through her oratory skills. But her biggest break came when she was 17. A local radio station, WVOL, heard her speak at a church function and offered her a job reading news on the weekend. She became Nashville's first African-American female news anchor while still in high school. Her natural conversational style was unusual for news, but audiences loved it. She earned $100 a week, more money than she'd ever seen. At Tennessee State, Oprah studied speech communications and performing arts. But she was more interested in her growing media career than her studies. She left college in her junior year when she was offered a job co-anchoring the evening news at WJZ-TV in Baltimore. The move to Baltimore in 1976 seemed like a dream come true, but it quickly turned into a nightmare. The news director criticized everything about her: her appearance, her emotional delivery, her inability to stay detached from stories. After 8 months, she was removed from the anchor desk and demoted to street reporter. Oprah was devastated. She thought her career was over. But sometimes what seems like a setback is actually a setup for a comeback. Baltimore, 1977–1983 ***. In 1977, WJZ offered Oprah a chance to co-host a local morning talk show called People Are Talking. The format was perfect for her natural interviewing style and empathetic personality. She could be herself, emotional, curious, and genuinely interested in people's stories. The show was an immediate hit. Oprah's ratings soared, and she quickly became Baltimore's most popular television personality. For the first time in her career, she felt like she was doing what she was meant to do. During this period, Oprah also discovered her passion for acting. She auditioned for a role in Steven Spielberg's The Color Purple and, against all odds, was cast as Sophia. The experience of portraying an abused woman who finds her strength resonated deeply with her own story. But Baltimore was just the beginning. In 1983, Oprah received an offer that would change not just her life, but the landscape of American television forever. Chicago, 1984–present. WLS-TV in Chicago offered Oprah the chance to host their struggling morning talk show, AM Chicago. The show was in last place, competing against the established Phil Donahue Show. Everyone thought she was crazy to leave her successful Baltimore show for this challenge. Within 3 months, AM Chicago went from last place to first. Oprah's authentic, emotional approach to television was revolutionary. She didn't just interview guests, she connected with them. She shared her own struggles, creating an intimate atmosphere that made viewers feel like they were part of a conversation with a trusted friend. In 1985, the show was renamed The Oprah Winfrey Show and expanded to an hour. A year later, it went national. By 1987, it was the highest-rated talk show in television history. But Oprah wasn't content with just hosting. She founded Harpo Productions, Oprah spelled backward, becoming the first African-American woman to own a major television and film production company. She negotiated ownership of her show, a move that would make her one of the wealthiest people in America. The Oprah Winfrey Show ran for 25 years, from 1986 to 2011, reaching an estimated 44 million viewers weekly at its peak. It revolutionized television, moving away from sensationalism to focus on self-improvement, spirituality, and human potential. Epilogue: The legacy continues. 2011 present. When Oprah ended her daily show in 2011, she launched the Oprah Winfrey Network, OWN. She's become a media mogul, philanthropist, and one of the most influential people in the world. Her net worth is estimated at over $2.5 billion. But perhaps her greatest achievement is how she transformed her pain into purpose. The little girl who was abused and told she was worthless became a voice for millions of people seeking healing, growth, and transformation. Oprah's story proves that no matter where you start in life, you have the power to write your own ending. From a pig farm in Mississippi to a media empire that spans the globe, she showed the world that the only limits that exist are the ones we place on ourselves. Her grandmother Hattie Mae was right, this child was indeed gifted. But more than that, she was unbreakable.